Les bon temps roulé, chat. Happy Mardi Gras to you and yours all across the world. From Baton Rouge, Louisiana to Chalmette to Lafitte to Pierre Part to I don't know, all over South Louisiana and coming to all of you wonderful people. Um, if I could spread the joie de vie of today, I would do it. So here I am. It's Tuesday night. Slainte Y'all. Hey, I'm not going to take Jeff Whiskey's gig with the sunglasses, but I mean, you got to admit, they're kind of fun, right? No, seriously, y'all, thanks so much for being in on this Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras. It's just Tuesday everywhere else, but it's never just Tuesday down here. Whether it's Mardi Gras or not, I think we're just kind of always in our element for sure down here. Want to we're gonna have some fun tonight. Just kind of chill. It's about this kind of this day is all about indulging before the Lenten season. So we're going to I pulled some drams that are quite indulgent. Want to hear what you all are drinking tonight. But the big thing about Mardi Gras is getting all your peeps together and the community and celebrating the riches that you do have in your life. So let's do that. I want to see we got a pile of people already here. And Sugar Kitty Meow Slanja and happy Mardi Gras to you. Thanks for being here, Sugar Kitty. This is in. Hello, my friend. Mardi Gras. Happy Mardi Gras. Peter's in. Um, you have that Glengoyne batch 4 cast strength open, but you seem to forget about it so far in the cabinet. Go grab that out. So for those who saw the Instagram post about the show and the thumbnail for the show, this is one of those drams is pretty nice. You know, it's a nice indulgence. Not every day you get a Glengoyne, especially down here, but to get a cast strength one as well. So I'm actually going to pour a little bit of this, and I'm having a wee bit of everything tonight because I've got some downright precious stuff that most of it, which has been gifted to me by Whiskey Pete's. But I'm gonna kind of stick with a little bit of a space side. We got a space side theme kind of going, which I think is apropos for Mardi Gras because it's rich and indulgent and oh my goodness, this does smell good. What batch is mine? I forgot to see. Wait, that's not going to help me. This Glengoyne is batch 6. Yep, batch 6. 59.8. And oh, it's so pretty. Mm-mm-mm. So let's see who all else is here. Let me see, and tell me what y'all are drinking. Peter, I don't know they'll be using that cast drink for a hurricane. It's usually rum's job, but it would make a hella drink. That's for sure. It would make a really good cocktail, but I think I'll reserve something for that for something else. Hey, Tom's in. Happy Mardi Gras, everyone. So good to see everybody. And glad it's warm for you there, Tom. We're warming up a little bit. We had a really warm weekend, so it was perfect for the parades. It was great. It rained some, but pretty much when it wasn't the parades. And we'll talk a little bit more. I think most people have an idea about what Mardi Gras is, and we'll talk a little bit about that tonight, along with what else we are having. Mark JG, my fellow Louisiana, happy Mardi Gras, my friend. Even up in Shreveport and Bossier, they celebrate Mardi Gras up there. So yeah, the laissez le bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll. For sure. Hey, Ian's in. Good to see you. Morning, evening, or night, whichever it is, way down there. Thanks for being in. Let me know what you're drinking. Aren't these adorable? I think Jeff Whiskey needs these. I need to bring these over to England next time I go. He might need those. Graham, hey, welcome. I've got one of your drams I'm having tonight. I'm indulging a itty bitty bit of it. It's just too precious to drink all of it tonight for sure. But yeah, great. Jimmy Jazz is in. Hello. Les Bon Temps Relay for you, my friend. And Whiskey Nose is in. Hey man, thanks for being in. Enjoying the fun stuff. Yes, and please hit the thumb. The algorithm is all the world right now. Thanks. Everybody's coming in. I know. Hey, I knew my other guy had to be here. Trooper. Happy Mardi Gras. Just finished the parades in Homa. Oh man. Y'all had a heck of a beautiful day for that. Mark and I went to a Mardi Gras parade. Actually, I have my water is in my cup. I caught. So Mardi Gras floats go by. People who ride in the floats have throws and they throw beads. And Mark caught these beads Friday night. I mean, these are fancy beads. And he didn't have to show nothing to get them, right? And then I caught these that had the mask. Thought that was kind of cool. So yeah, you get beads, but they'll also they would throw things like cups. And the parade we went to was here in Baton Rouge, and it's a neighborhood parade. So it's real drilled down from what you're going to have in New Orleans, but still fun with marching lines, which means a bunch of people dressed up and doing a dance routine to the same song. And they may be grown-ass women or grown-ass men, or they may be little girl dance groups. You just never know what you're going to have. And school bands and all of that. But this was the crew of South Downs. South Downs is the name of the neighborhood. And so you can see the cup, and this is the crew, the KREWE, which means the group. And they had all like area businesses, all their logos on it that help sponsor it. And the crew, this particular one in South Downs is a neighborhood that has streets called Edinburgh and Glasgow. I mean, how cool is that? So the parade actually started on Glasgow Avenue. That's kind of cool. Oh, so this Glengoyne, I just wanted to, because tonight marks a really kind of a big deal too, because I started the live show on Mardi Gras 2 years ago. We have been doing the live show for 2 years, y'all. 2 years. Now, technically, the date was March 1st because Mardi Gras follows, it's basically 41 days before Easter, right? Because tomorrow is Ash Wednesday and the beginning of Lent. So Mardi Gras is always going to change, just like Easter always changes. But holiday to holiday, 2 years. We're starting our 3rd year of live shows. And I can't thank everybody enough. Can't thank the camp drummers enough. Everybody who supports and shows up on a Tuesday night. It's really super. And I appreciate that. So thank you all for 2 great years. And let's get into the 3rd, having a lot of fun. Ooh-wee. Yeah, 59.8, 58.9, 59.8. It's there, but man, it's just pungent. Burnt sugars and molasses, a little bit of cinnamon on there. Oh my goodness, it's really, I guess the treacle is the name. It's almost like a molasses or a thick sweet syrup. Not like pancake syrup, more almost like Steens, which is a sugarcane syrup, molasses syrup that we have down here. Beautiful, dry on the finish. It's really pretty, isn't it? That's that Glengoyne cask strength. That was batch 6 that I had in the thumbnail today. So yeah, so let's see who else is here. Hey, Mr. Great Shot is in. Hey friends, Slainte Y'all. Awesome. Peter Newton is in Chalmette. So you are a Chalmatian. So way down south, there, south of New Orleans, there were towns. I would say war towns. Buras is still there, but Katrina about took it out. But Buras is there, and there's a town named Chalmette, and there's a town named Violet. And the joke is, if you are from Chalmette, you are a Chalmatian, like a New Orleanian or a Baton Rougean. But if you're from Violet, you're a violation. So, uh, I know I got a chuckle out of Trooper. He gets that one. He gets that one for sure. Absolutely. Um, did they get any crawfish in Araby? See, y'all were like, Araby? Like, the crawfish has been really rough. Really tough, Peter. It's not doing well at all this year. The unbelievable drought that we had just really kind of is wiping out things. They're not producing a lot, especially the pond crawfish. Talked to a friend today from the west side of the state, who has friends that run crawfish in their fields, and they did a test of one of them, and there was not even enough to even think about harvesting. They're actually going to have to seed the fields again to have a crop maybe next year. So that kind of tells you, and you say seed the fields for crawfish, basically be able to put out, I guess, for lack of a better term, baby crawfish, or be able to get them reintroduced in the area, because the drought just dried everything up. It was so bad last year. So the basin crawfish, they're coming in, but they're really small and tiny. So we're hoping, as the water keeps coming in from the spring, all this snow everybody's getting up in the north, as soon as it hits into the Ohio Valley, it's going to make its way down here, which is always our iffy time in the spring with floods and rain and stuff. But yeah, so all of that helps the crawfish. So we're hoping that gets a little bit better, because right now crawfish is expensive, and what you can get is really not quite there. So yeah, fingers crossed for that for sure. Hey, my friend. Cheers, Slainte. Happy Mardi Gras, Jen. Hope you're doing well. Um, that Chris is naturally New Orleans. Yeah, for sure. Oh, you know that. You did not make a dirty rice tonight, did you? Really, Peter? That's awesome. That's awesome. Mark made a jambalaya last night. We were out at the camp for a little bit, and oh my gosh, it was so good. He's getting better and better at making the jambalaya. I'm gonna tell you. So Jen's gonna go dig out her some Glengoyne. Yum yum. Whiskey Nose is drinking Glenallachie 10 cast strength number 8. And editing a video. Now, God love you. It's always the chore, right? Always. Good for you. But thanks for being on here tonight and multitasking. I appreciate that, and celebrating. This Glengoyne is so lovely. And that's just such a cool distillery too, especially one that you can get to very easily from Glasgow. I literally took the bus. Graham, you'd be so proud of me. I took the bus before I met you to get to Glengoyne. That was a big, big thing for an American who doesn't do public transportation and is addicted to her own vehicle. But yeah, so, and it's very nice. I did the blending, master blending course, and where you also do the olfactory test there. Just a beautiful little place. And of course, it's made in the highlands and it's stored in the lowlands, which I love that part of it. But with something we don't get a whole lot around here, I'm trying to remember if this is a bottle I brought back, or if this is a bottle I got in Texas, which is highly likely, because I think the first Glengoyne was an 18 I got, and I bought it on vacation in Denver. That's how hard it is to find this down around here. So I kind of wanted to put together some indulgent drams because we're living, we are all about the Mardi Gras. This is the last fail swoop before we have to be good, Mara, for the next 40 days before Easter. And I wanted to kind of explain to some folks who may not know about the purple, gold, and green. So I've got those colors. I've got the colors going. That's supposed to be gold behind me. But yeah, the purple, gold, and green and just what those represent. And the purple is for justice, gold is power, and green is faith. So, I mean, if you got those three things working for you, it's really pretty cool, right? That it's a good mantra to have. Now, here's the fun fact. Most of you all know that I absolutely love LSU. Mark is an alum. I'm an alum. We love our Tigers. Our colors are purple and gold. The reason our colors are purple and gold is because whoever had to decide what our colors were going to be way back in the day, they went to whatever store was available, and the only thing that they had was leftover purple and gold stuff from Mardi Gras. We came that close to being green. So, fun fact, LSU is purple and gold because of leftover Mardi Gras stuff. So I don't know who went and bought all the green stuff. I don't know if it was for maybe St. Patrick's Day way back in the day. I can't imagine that back in the 1800s, but you never know. But I always think that that's a really funny thing there. To think that we came that close to being almost like we could have been Green Bay colors, I don't know that purple and green would have been a good combination for a football team, but you never know. Hey Jim, good to see you. I'm so glad you're coming down here. We need to make a trip. Come and see you for sure. If you got the time, I'd love to see y'all. And let me know where y'all are going. And if you need any information, there's plenty of us can help you out on really good places to go and see for sure. I would highly recommend if anybody goes to New Orleans, contact me. I would love to hear from you, and I'd love to tell you maybe what to and what not to do. But the Sazerac House, it's on Canal, all the way right close to the river, across from Fifth Avenue. It is absolutely a gem. For all the things that New Orleans sometimes doesn't get right, they got that right. And it's a free tour. You have to book it, but it's a free tour. And it's also now a working distillery. So Sazerac is the brand that does, for the US, they are the distributor for all the Glenfarclas. And then they are the importer, I should say. And then also like Buffalo Trace and just more bourbons than you can shake a stick at. But you go through and you will have an old fashioned. They'll make you a tasting of an old fashioned. You don't get the whole old fashioned. It's a lot of kind of Disney-esque interactive stuff, which I think is really cool. They also make bitters there. So you get to see how the pastry bitters are made and even find some flavors that you probably never have seen or maybe in your market. And then you end with, I think there's 3 different drinks you get a sample of, and it's all free. And then you go down through the distillery, a quick tour. It's very small. It's basically a micro distillery, if you will. And then go through all the different rums that they carry, things like that. Their gift shop is amazing. Yeah, don't miss it. Don't miss it. Just the whole idea of what the Sazerac House was, and the idea that you had coffee houses during Prohibition, and how many coffee houses were in New Orleans during Prohibition. And basically, they were all coffee on the front end, speakeasy on the back end. So it's really fascinating, and I can't recommend it enough. They did really good stuff down there for sure. No, not at all. I could promise you that. Promise you that, Peter. For sure. This This is beginning to sound like gumbo Scotch night. It is going to be a little bit of everything all put together for sure. Yay. Jennifer's got a Glengoyne 18. I'm going to have another sip or two of this. But yeah. So most of y'all are familiar with this version of Mardi Gras, the New Orleans version, going through the quarter and the different big floats, like the jester and the dragon that's up there. Any time of the year, you can go see Mardi Gras floats and Mardi Gras World. It's this huge warehouses that are right down on the river, very close. Like if you take a cruise out of New Orleans, it's located right basically next door to where you would pick up your cruise. So just upriver from downtown in the quarter. And the thing is, when you're in New Orleans, you have to, I think of it as which way the river flows, because it makes a big circle there. So it's really hard to figure out what's east and west, north and south. So is it upriver or downriver, East Bank or West Bank? And you're pretty good. If you're in New Orleans, you're on the East Bank. So maybe that kind of helps. And then, it was cool too, because even during COVID, people decorated their houses because a lot of the parades were canceled and they couldn't do those. So they did these huge displays during COVID of basically making a float out of their house, decorating it. And that has stuck. Even though the parades came back, people are still decorating their houses down there. You'll even see some in Baton Rouge. I noticed this year, particularly, a lot of people in Baton Rouge were doing the purple golden lights in their house. And I don't know, Mark, JG, let me know if they're even doing that up north, because I thought that was really cool. But my favorite type of Mardi Gras parades are what we call truck parades. And Trooper, I'm guessing that parade in Houma was more like a truck parade, or you had trucks pulling or tractors pulling different floats, and not so much the big grandiose three-dimensional type stuff, but it's basically a trailer with a bunch of people on it throwing really good stuff. It's usually family friendly. So it's a lot more about community and getting people together and community groups participating and that kind of stuff. So that was really cool. And again, that's the New Orleans version. And yes, for those historians who may be around, the first Mardi Gras was actually in Mobile, Alabama. And that's great. I'm really happy for them. But when you think of Mardi Gras, you're not always thinking about Mobile. I'll just say that. But yeah, for sure. So I was looking at this Glengoyne is so delightful. I'm going to put just a wee bit of water on it, just a little bit, and just see how that blooms out a little bit. So when you come into the Lenten season, a lot of people give up things for Lent. And I made in my post say, my bottles and my whiskey's not going to be one of those things, but I am going to do a concerted effort to eat less sweets, especially because since Christmas they have been my downfall. No lie. And then like Cokes and stuff like that. I'm pretty much off of Coca-Cola, but nothing wrong with that. I'm just trying to wean myself off of it. And Lent's a good time. It's just a good time to think about doing that. Tom says he is nursing a Mossburn 12 blended malt finished in a rum cask. How apropos. 57% and it's hot. Good to knock down the final stages of COVID. Man, I'm just getting it in there and let it flush all that out. And I hope you haven't had any of the side effects of the earlier versions of COVID. And hopefully it was just a really bad cold, and your taste and your smell are all good, Tom. I I hope you're doing well, buddy. Um, uh, see, Whiskey knows that Glengoyne 18. It's business. Hey Ian, so happy Mardi Gras. I'm just in for tea this afternoon. Yes, it's 10 a.m. in Australia. Thank you for being on with us. And we will drink this whiskey for you. And cheers. And I know it's already Wednesday because it's 10 a.m. where you are. But do they do any whiskey tasting, any whiskey Mardi Gras tastings? I think how can I say this as nicely as possible? Most of Mardi Gras is about getting your drink on. So being a connoisseur of tasting anything is not high on the on the priority list, I would think. But I think it would be interesting. I'm gonna have I have a little something over here. I think you can see a little bit of the box that will kind of pair off with a dram in a bit. But yeah, not so much that. I will say that the Baton Rouge, Caledonia pipe and drum band, all full kilted out, walked in the parade on Friday night at the parade that we had in town. So that was really pretty cool. I was like, hey, I got a little bit of scotch right here with my Mardi Gras. So not too many tastings, but that would be interesting. We have lots of different. We'll talk about king cakes in a little bit, but there are a lot of different flavors, and that in itself would be a whole thing to do different Scotch pairings with different flavors of king cake. Maybe we'll do that for next Mardi Gras. We could do that. I bet. Awesome. Did anybody get the king cake, baby? Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. That's all good. So for those who may not know, and we'll chat about it a little bit later too. But there is a baby inside the king cake. I'll tell you why in a minute. But if you get the baby, you have to buy the next king cake. So it's only fair, right? Yay. Oh, I love this. If you show a decent dram and win some beads, only beads I get are those in Glencairn. Yeah. So if I could throw these to you, and I would without breaking my camera or the monitor for sure. The better your dram, the cooler your beads are, or something. I don't know. That's funny. Yes, Dr. John. Dr. John albums onto the turntable tonight for some juju. Absolutely. Play some Iko Iko. Oh my gosh. Yes. I put Iko Iko from Dr. John on my my Instagram story today. And I was just like, dun, dun. I had Professor Longhair, the meters, and it was when the Whiskey Franco I say retweeted, but re-forwarded my story, reposted my story. I put Iko on that one. That was really cool. Such great music down here, y'all. That just adds to all of the joie de vie of our world. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, so I have poured my last dram, and we're not quite there on that one yet. So I'm going to pour this one. I even spoke to my buddy today, texted my buddy today where I got this one from. And as you can tell, I'm not going to show you what it is just yet. Okay. It's in bottle and it's still sealed, right? And it's that much. So already you kind of think it's a little precious. So let's look at this Decadent Dram. Holy moly macaroni. Like I said, I'm just going to pour tea-nightsy things. So I'm thinking about my Deanston buddy, my Deanston fanboy, Drew from Scotch for Dummies, because that's who gave me this dram. And I'm going to drink it out of their glass even. How cool is that? But I am just going to have a little wee bit. So again, this is, I say Speyside, this is, I don't even know anything about the 30. If it's all bourbon or if it's bourbon and sherry. I don't know. I have to like have a sip. Have a sip. Hey, Martin, Slainte Y'all. Hey, friend. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. And I got to get back to you on your email. Had a few things coming up, but yes, and more yes. So we'll get the details there. Yeah, so I'm going to crack open the sample of Deanston 30. So we're just going to pour a sip. That's what we're going to pour, a sip. And type that thing down. Oh goodness, give me something to put on top of that. Give me something to put on top of that while I chat. A scotch on the Bayou coin, and flip it on that side. And I don't know if you know, les éléments roulés. Let the good times roll. Yay. And then on the back is Slainte Y'all. So we're going to put that there. And I want to see who else is kind of quite a few folks jumped in. So the Glengoyne is a taste of your local region right here. Yeah, it's a stone's throw from you, huh? Real easy to get to for sure. Oh goodness. It's like Peter's having fun with some other mezcal, tequila, gin, rums. Yum. So back on the crawfish, woof. Local special, $13.99 for crawfish by the house. Going to eat a ribeye instead. $13.99 a pound for cooked crawfish, guys. So to give you an idea, your typical serving, tell me if I'm wrong, Trooper, your typical serving is, yeah, and he wants to make sure you understand, it's a pound. A typical serving is 5 pounds. Like if you go like to a crawfish boil, you're probably going to get 3 to 5 pounds of crawfish because you're just eating that much of the tail, right? You know, so think about that. You could usually get a 30-pound sack for, I don't know, $60 or something like that. In like live crawfish, I don't even want to know how much it costs right now. Shrimp is far cheaper. Like you could probably get Royal Reds, huh, Trooper, for $13.99 a pound. That's for sure. Yeah, it's tough, and it's really going to be hard. And it's Mark, yeah, $300 for a sack of crawfish right now, y'all. That's what it is, and it's not a gouging situation. And I want people to really make sure you understand that is people are not gouging. It is supply and demand, right? And the fact is there is no supply, and so those who demand it, the price is gonna go up. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. So you got your New Orleans Mardi Gras. Wait, I before we get there, I want to get into this Deanston 30. Oh, y'all. Why can't I put this next to the microphone and y'all could all smell this? Oh my goodness. It's almost like perfume. It almost has this like savory perfume nose to it. Like, I mean, it's just like a leather shop. I think about the McKinsey leather shop in Edinburgh and where I had that bag made, and tobacco and just like chocolate. That's what this is in a nose. Oh, Drew, dang it, I'm gonna have to text you tonight because this is gonna be amazing. I don't know what the ABV is. Certainly doesn't taste very pungent, as far as ABV. It's very creamy though. Interesting. And I mean, this is like 3 sips worth, y'all. It's almost gone. I did not pour a lot. Oh, I'm gonna have to put the lid back on, the coin back on this one, because I want to smell it when it's all dried out. Mm. Remarkably spicy on the end, right in the middle of the palate. And again, with the savory, it's not super, super sweet. You get a little sweet on the front end. More of like a burnt sugar. I wouldn't say burnt sugar. I would say like brown sugar or demerara sugar over there, and a dryness. So I'm thinking that definitely it's got some sherry in it, but the creaminess of the texture is really interesting. And for 30 years, goodness. Mm, wow. 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 Indulgent Drams on Mardi Gras. Fat Tuesday. We making it happen. Yum, 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 yum. I want to, well, I'm going to rinse this out. I got one more dram before the last one, which is Graham's. So you know, Graham's going, what did I give her? What is she? Do you even remember what you gave me? This you gave me when we were there this summer, Graham, when we met at SMWS. And I had a fangirl moment. I was so excited. Jennifer, you have this one too. This one Chad gave us when we went to Victoria last year. And this is the Glenfarclas Family Cask from Kensington Wine Market, 1992. 29 years. Y'all. At 52.6. I need a manicure. Another time. Okay. Another indulgent dram. Another wee sip. Because I'm gonna milk this one for a while. 1992. That was a long time ago. Because yeah, long time ago. Oh wow. Yeah, I need another lid for this one too. I put my aquavite corn. Hey Joe, good to see you. Thanks for being in. And you've got a Springbank tin. Just a Springbank in your glass. Lovely, very nice dram for a Mardi Gras for sure. Thanks for being here and yum. So see, I'm way behind as always on these. So Specs was always good about getting Glengorns in for sure. And it does that bus pick you up in Glasgow and drop you literally right there, and just picks you right back up like where you went. And actually, that was the time I went. This guy that he's got a little channel over in Scotland called Aquavite. He picked me up that day, so I only had to ride the bus there, and he picked me up after that. But yeah, goodness, yeah. But it's a lot of fun. And I saw your other comment about Professor Longhair. If you ever need some oomph in your day, if you ever need some music to get the blood going, say, I need to go clean my house. I need to go clean the garage. I just need to go do and feel some upbeat, effervescent music. Just put in Mardi Gras music, New Orleans, or something like that in your Spotify, Amazon, just whatever your streaming service is. And I'm gonna guarantee you, if you don't move with that music, I'm sorry. I mean, it may not be doing it for you, because it will get you up and get you going. It's just feel good music. And Professor Longhair is just an icon when it comes to that. Absolutely fabulous. Let's see. So Graham, I would have loved to have seen that you were here in the late 80s. How did I not know? I was here in the late 80s. I was in Mardi Gras in the late 80s. We could have been at Endymion the same night. Oh my gosh, how crazy that would have been. Maybe we'll have to get you back over here maybe not for Mardi Gras, but we'll get you back over here for sure. Um, oh, hey Bruce, and what a hell of a good cookbook from Paul Prudhomme, who Black and Red Fresh, he was known for. Yeah, awesome. Uh, some really good cooking. So other really great. I mean, people think about Emeril Lagasse, and he's not from here, but that's okay. We'll still keep him. I mean, I don't even know if he's got a restaurant in New Orleans right now because Delmonico isn't there anymore. Emeril's isn't there anymore. But another one is Chef John Folse is another chef that's got some great cookbooks, and he's even more, I would say, more Cajun, that has done New Orleans stuff too. Along with that, a New Orleans chef is John Besh, Besh, and he and Aron Sanchez have Johnny Sanchez restaurants, but John Besh has like 4 restaurants in New Orleans, and he's a veteran, and he's a good guy. I mean, Mark and I have gone to quite a few of his restaurants, from his bistros to his fancy ones. And the thing I love most about John Besh is after Katrina, he was able to get back into the city and get enough rice and beans and different things to cook, and literally piled them up in a boat, in coolers in a boat, and hauled the boat on the trailer through neighborhoods and fed people, because that's what you do. Donald Link is another great chef there. Susan Spicer, Bayona. Oh my God, that restaurant. You writing all these down, Jim? Another fantastic. She is amazing chef in New Orleans. So it's hard to find a bad place to eat down there. So yeah, let me know if y'all ever go. I'll be glad to hit y'all up with some good suggestions. For sure, for sure. Yep. So that's interesting to know. I didn't realize that, Graham, that the 18 is temporarily discontinued. That's not good. They have a 17 now. So I guess it was just a situation with stock, huh? It sounds like like what that would be. And what you coming up here like stirring up trouble, bud? Wheelhouse Whiskey is in the house, no doubt, with a big sherry dram. I just had a Deanston 30. Did you miss that? Oh my goodness. So this is the Glenfarclas family. Okay. How do you like this one? The Glenfarclas family cask, 1992. 29 year. 29 year. Oh, goodness. Oh my goodness. A Gordon and MacPhail Macallan, 58.5. Well, all right. Ain't too shabby yourself. Oh goodness. Um. Mm-mm-mm. So, for those of you know, Peter, I mean, I know. I want to say you're from down here, but I know you've lived there for in New Orleans and down here before. But by the way, you should be in New Orleans bar at the Top Bars Sunday night. Free event. Oh, that's an Arizona thing. I got you. I got you. I'm getting there. So yes, the Sazerac Bar at the hotel, Roosevelt Hotel, absolutely is who dat. Absolutely who dat. Yeah, so that's the Sazerac bar is there. I would also say get a Ramos Gin Fizz. That was invented there too. So if you're into gin, that is a really good drink to get. I think they're running about $18 or $20 a pop right now. So there is that one. But yeah, some really cool places. In New Orleans, one of my favorite bars. That's one of my favorite bars. But the other one is the Hotel Montleon. It's the carousel bar. Literally, there is a carousel around the bar, and it rotates. And then there's another, other part lounge area of the bar. One of the best things you can do is even during the day, there are these two-seaters right by the windows, and it's on Royal at Iberville and in the Quarter. And it's just great to sit there, have a cocktail, have a dram, and people watch while you're in the air conditioning, because that's important. I don't care what time of year it is in New Orleans, for sure. Hey, Nick, thanks for being in. And yeah, having some lot going from the flashbacks from the other stream. Absolutely. Well, thanks for being here. And that's you know what I think about lot gorms. Okay, so this so Jennifer, yes, the Deanston 30 that I just had was a sample given to me from Scotch for Dummies, and that came from their event that they had last year, that where everybody did big bottle shares. I don't know who brought the Deanston 30. I have my suspicions who brought that, but yeah, they shared some of those drams since I couldn't go to that event, because I think I come back and I was going to somebody's birthday in Houston. Just want to say that, Oh, so this is very Glenfarclas to me. On this, that spicy note on the nose. So let's talk about a different type of Mardi Gras parade. And it's not so much a parade as it is a community event, and that is Cajun Mardi Gras. Cajun Mardi Gras, so think of Louisiana as the boot. It's the shape of a boot. New Orleans is down kind of around the ball of the foot, I guess you would say. Over towards the arch and the heel on the west side of Louisiana is where you get around Ville Platte and Mamou and Jeanerette and all of that kind of, it's prairie, it's plains. That is where a lot of German settlers came in, and a lot of the Cajun French folks settled in that area. And that's the heart of Cajun country. It's not New Orleans. It is Cajun country, Cajun food, jambalaya, the gumbo. There's usually a Cajun and a Creole version of everything. But your crawfish is primarily Cajun, because that's where crawfish came from. Crawfish doesn't come from New Orleans. So what you have here are is the Cajun Mardi Gras. And it's so interesting to me, and it's on my bucket list. I've yet to be there on Mardi Gras Day, and I really do want to do this. So Mark, you and I are going to have a conversation, especially after seeing our friend Vinny's pictures that she went today. But what they do is like, okay, there's a guy standing on a horse, and it's all very colorful, right? And you look at these hats and all of this, revelry and all the colors. And what it is basically you've got folks that are somewhat making fun, not somewhat, pretty much making fun of aristocracy and the princess hat, the cone hat, like that. And the community gets together, and these young guys, girls too, I think, do it as well. They go from house to house to collect the ingredients to make a gumbo. And so they literally, bottom right here, chase a chicken. They got to find the chicken. They go and get the rice from somebody. They go get flour from somebody, oil from somebody, everything that takes, the vegetables from somebody. And they go from house to house on horseback. They may dance on the back of the horse. The horses know this. They're cool with it. What I really want to show, like that top picture, they make these masks out of screen and they paint them, and they are nothing short of art in and of themselves. And I just absolutely love how they do this. And they'll go and they'll sing and ask for the ingredients, and basically they have to give themselves a dance or a song in order to get the ingredients and come back and put the gumbo together, so to speak. There's a lot of different customs depending on where you are. But yeah, the Mardi Gras, Cajun Mardi Gras is a really big deal. And I think it's just a whole total art in itself. It's really pretty cool if you ever get a chance to go see that. And one other thing I want to talk about as far as New Orleans goes is also the Mardi Gras Indians. And I've talked about that on a previous a show, but those are African American community that come together to honor their Indian heritage, and the way that they put on and the absolute art of their costumes and how they basically put their history in their costumes to show. Iko Iko is a song that basically it talks about my flag boy and your flag boy. It's talking about the different groups of Indian tribes and capturing the flag, if you will. So delve into some of that if you don't know anything about it. It's really pretty interesting. If you go to Jazz Fest in New Orleans, and it's always the last week in April and the first week in May. And the Rolling Stones are coming this year. It's gonna be great. But if you go there, the Mardi Gras Indians will always be at Jazz Fest, and they're just, you could just sit there and look at it all day long, and the beadwork and the feathers and everything that they put together in their dress is amazing. So lots and lots of culture. We love to share our culture. We love to share our whiskey. I'm so glad that Chad shared this. It's just Christmas cake in a glass. It's Glenfarclas, right? And it's got that musty book kind of smell. That's what that is. And a little pancake syrup. So very good. I'm gonna have this next dram, and then we're gonna. I really want this next dram and not the king cake with it. So you'll have to remember and get me there. Yeah. I love how Peter's having flashbacks of New Orleans here between WWOZ and all the parts of places. Yeah. Play Street. And you had to work on Ash Wednesday in place St. Charles, i.e. I love it. Happy Independence Day to Louisiana. Wait, it's not right. It's not Marco Graham either. It's a Mardi Gras, yeah. Hey, Drew, I was just talking about you. I don't know if you heard me. I don't know if you saw this, friend, but I just had a wee bit of this, and I was channeling you because we all know who the real Deanston fanboy is in the family. That's for sure. Hey, Rob's in too. Hey, friend, thanks for being here. So yeah, this summer, as y'all know, Mark and I had our 2 and 3 week excursion to Scotland. And I'm so glad I finally got to meet Graham, who I feel now like I've known all my life. And Graham gifted me a few samples, but this is the one that just, I remember sitting in SMWS Bath Street in Glasgow and going, holy shit. Oh my gosh. So again, I can't read but these. And I don't even know, Graham, if you remember you did this. But I wrote it down. So this is a rare malts 20-year-old 1978. 1978. It's a 20-year-old Port Ellen. Y'all, we're talking Decadent Drams tonight, okay? Can I get a hallelujah? This may be, I don't know. I got a couple other little ringers back there, but this, y'all, Look at this. OMG. Yeah. So I poured a wee bit, and I've had it sitting here, and we're ending with a little bit of peat. Mm, 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 mm. Yes, Peter, the next year's Super Bowl is in New Orleans. I would love for it to be the first Saints Super Bowl, but they got to do some stuff in the front office before that happens. I'm afraid. Uh, mm, mm, mm. So you just finished some red wine, and now you're on Two Tigers blended Indian whiskey, I'm guessing. Mm, mm, mm. Goodness gracious. I'm going to try to catch up. That would be a good name. Musty Books and Pancake Syrup. Oh, that would be really good. I love it. Uh, uh, uh. Is it tiki time already? Oh, it's in April. I remember y'all doing that last year. Oh, y'all. Port Ellen. Okay, Graham, I know you know this. When are they supposed to get back online? I stealthily went by there and took pictures when we were there in June. Oh, this has got a musty kind of smell to it too. A little bit of that old book and slightly sour, but sweet, almost like a little bit of a honey. So this year, okay, Joe, thanks. When you smell with your mouth open, y'all taste too. I mean, because it's why I can't go through a perfume section of a department store. It's why I hold my breath when I'm running through duty free coming out of a Glasgow airport, because I taste every damn thing I smell, and it's got a little bit of savory to it too. Mm. And it's 60. Wow. 60.9. Ain't no lie. Yeah. Drew. I know, right? Ain't no big deal. Yeah. It does. So it reopens in March. How soon thereafter the doors open will you be there, Graham? Inquiring minds want to know. Oh my God. It's so like hot on the back end. That's amazing. So 1978, help me out on this, Graham, because I mean, it's 20 years old. So I'm saying that's the distillation year that it was 78, or bottled in 78. And again, that was a rare malt. So I'm thinking it was distilled in 78, and it was a 20 year. So 98 is the bottling year. Or was it bottled in 78 and it was 20 years old, meaning it came off the still in 58? Like, I need help with math. We've been at this for an hour and I'm 4 drams in. Little drams, but still. Oh my gosh. I can't get over. So 78 distillation. Okay. How old were all of us? Some of us I don't even think were around here in 78. Mm. I am going to have 1 drop of water on this sucker. 1. Itty bitty. Ooh. So like the finish is almost like this lemongrass. The peat's very light. Just more of a little smoky, smoldery kind of sensation, actually. I got more peat on the nose than I even do on the taste. And I don't think it's the peat blindness so much. Dang, friend. Thank you so much for sharing that. Drew, all the dummies, thanks for sharing the Deanston 30. Chad was so very generous with all those samples of freaking unicorns that he gave us last year, and that's the thing too I just love so much about it is you have these things and you can enjoy them, and you can enjoy them with friends. And a big part of like the whole Mardi Gras community, all that part is like getting together with your people and having fun and doing that. So awesome. You opened this bottle outside the Port Ellen warehouses with friends in 2022. That's epic, dude. Graham, that is so epic. Oh my gosh. That's the way to fricking do it. And you're so sweet to give me a sample of it. Thank you so much. I think you could tell I kind of like it. This is another one I'm going to have to let. All right. This is not ladylike, but oh well. I'm going to have to let that dry because I want to smell that by itself as well. That's going to be amazing. So as we bring it around the corner here, as the parade ends at the Superdome where we're going to have the big party, because that's what happens. You wonder where the floats go. They end up in the Superdome. And all the big bougie people, all the big fancy bougie people have their big ball and party there. We are going to have some king cake. I may have to go make me a cup of coffee later. But yeah, so before we get that, so Peter, just making sure, are you talking about coming back down here in May? If that's the case, let me know and let's chat. We'll come up with something for sure. Okay. But yeah, there are some places, and yes, well, let's talk. So just email me for sure. Yeah, bougie people, we're all bougie. I mean, come on. I'm drinking 30-year-old Winston. I'm a little bougie too. That's it. So you still have a third of that bottle. I need to find out where you live in Sterling. No, I'm joking. That's awesome. That's so awesome. So it's time for king cake, y'all. So king cake. This is one of my favorite places to get a king cake here in town. It's called Oak Point Grocery Store. They make a bazillion different kinds. As you can see, they have a whole huge display. And this one in particular, I really like because it's a praline icing with the pecans on top and a cream cheese praline filling. So think it's not really a cinnamon roll. I don't know what the Scottish or English equivalent would be. But it's more like a brioche bread. So think fluffy brioche kind of inside bread with that kind of shell, outside. And then some will inject the cream on the inside, but Oak Point slices theirs in half and then does a filling. And the fillings could be cream cheese. It could just be cinnamon. It could be just cinnamon and, like different fruits, blueberry, raspberry, cherry, lemon. They do a Bavarian cream one. They do all kinds of, like, if you think you can think it, they can make it. But this one in particular is my favorite. And we just happened not to go. We didn't go to Oak Point. We actually went to the Butcher Boy yesterday in Plaquemine on the way to the camp. And so you have your king cake. You have your king cake in a box. And we've already hit this one pretty big. So to kind of give you an idea, so you can see this is, and again, they're colored in the purple, green, and gold for the 3 colors, right? So power, justice, and faith. And it's, if you can see, let me try to, you can see this one's filled with cream cheese. And there's a baby. So they can't put the baby, they can't hide the baby in the king cakes anymore because people are choking. It's a choking hazard. So they usually put them out. And then the whole idea is before you serve the cake, you pop the baby up under that somewhere. And whoever gets that piece, as people were talking about earlier, they have to buy the king cake for the next party. But the thing too, the 3 colors are to represent the 3 kings. So these come out looking for, well, the 3 kings searching for the Christ child, the baby, at the Epiphany So these start coming out at the Epiphany, so the 12th night after Christmas. So since January 5th, we've been having king cakes, which is why I'm trying to give up sweets for Lent. Because, king cake. I mean, supposedly there's no calorie in king cake, but I don't think that's right. So one of the other things you need to understand is there's a cardinal rule, is that the knife stays in the box at all times so that you are able to cut yourself a piece, which I'm going to do right now. And I'm going to cut a little piece. I don't know if I can cut that way. I'll cut this way. So I'm going to cut just a wee piece, and we're going to say thank you for being here and in indulging in some Decadent Drams for Mardi Gras, for helping celebrate 2 years of a live show tonight. That is huge, y'all. I can't thank y'all enough for all the support. And oh man, this is really good. It is very much a sugary coffee cake, and flossing is recommended afterwards for sure. Did I have the king cake? We did have king cake in Glen Grant last time you were down. We sure did. When you were here in January, we did that. Yeah, no baby is being hidden for litigious reasons, and we are a very litigious state down here. Just look at the billboards on our interstate. Yep, big time. They throw cabbages during the St. Patrick's Day parade in the channel, the Irish Channel. Yes, they do in New Orleans. You know that for sure. But yeah, so I hope everybody's had a really good night. Thank you for being part of this community, the campgrounders, all of the things. I really do appreciate it. I don't know. Let's see. Graham's asking if it's meant to be the shape of a crown. I don't know. I have to look that up. I wouldn't doubt it. But guys, I appreciate it. I hope you have a great week. We'll be back next Tuesday night without the beads, and we'll have a good time then. So thanks, guys, and we will see you next week. Slainte Y'all. Happy Mardi Gras. Laissez le bon temps rouler. Bye,